माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद राधे राधे। जय राधा गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद राधे राधे। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यष्टोत्रस्य श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की। इस्कॉन विविध संस्थापकाचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्रस्य श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नामाचार्य श्रील हरदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की। गंगा माई की जमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की। कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदायिनी श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की। कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Maybe one of the speakers is not on. Huh? Why? When was that change? I got it. So is Graham something? ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, Chapter 14, Text 158, Chapter entitled Performance of the Vrindavan Pastimes. Evam Shashanka Amshu Virajitaha Nishaha Saha Satyakama Anunata Abalaganaha Shisheva Atmani Avaruddha Saurata Sarvaha Sharat Kavya Katha Rasashrayaha. Evam shashankam shubirajita nishaha sasatyakamo nuratha balagana Shisheva atmanyabaruddha saurataha Sarva sharat kavya katha rasashrayaha. Evam shashankam shubirajita nishaha sasatyakamo nurata balagana Shisheva atmanyabaruddha saurata Sarva sharat kavya katha rasashrayaha. Evam shashankam shubirajita nishaha sasatyakamo nurata balaganaha Shisheva atmanyabaruddha saurata सर्वा शरत्काव्यकथा रसाश्रयाः Mataji's. Thus, Shashankamshu, with rays of moonshine, Virajita, beautifully existing, Nishaha, nights, Saha, he, Satyakama, the absolute truth, Anurata, to whom are attracted, Abalagana, women, Shisheva, performed, Atmani, in his own self, Avaruddha Saurataha, his transcendental erotic love was checked. Sarvaha, all, Sharad, in autumn, Kavya, poetic, Katha, words, Rasashrayaha, full of all transcendental mellows. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Lord Shri Krishna, who is the Absolute Truth, enjoyed his Rasa dance every night during the autumn season. He performed this dance in the moonlight and with full transcendental mellows. He used poetic words and surrounded himself with women who were very much attracted to him. This verse is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33-26. The gopis are all transcendental spirit souls. One should never think that the gopis and Krishna have material bodies. Vrindavan Dham is also a spiritual abode, and there the days and nights, the trees, flowers, water, and everything else are spiritual. There is not even a trace of material contamination. Krishna, who is the Supreme Brahman and Super Soul, is not at all interested in anything material. His activities with the gopis are all spiritual and take place within the spiritual world. They have nothing to do with the material world. Lord Krishna's lusty desires and all his dealings with the gopis are on the spiritual platform. One has to be transcendentally realized devotee, realized before even considering relishing the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis. One who is on the mundane platform must first purify himself by following the regulatory principles. Only then can he try to understand Krishna and the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar Goswami are here talking about the relationship between Krishna and gopis. Therefore, the subject matter is neither mundane nor erotic. Being a sannyasi, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict in his dealings with women. Unless the gopis were on the spiritual platform, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have never even mentioned them to Swarup Damodar Goswami. Therefore, these descriptions do not at all pertain to material activity. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. So this is the beautiful 14th chapter of the Madhya Lila Chaitanya Charitamrita, which describes about Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the discussion about the Rasa Lila, and in the 10th canto, when Krishna has left the gopis association, the gopis are chanting the Gopi Geet in separation. And then Krishna suddenly manifests as a result of their heartfelt prayers. Tasamabirabhut shaurihi smayamana mukambhuja pitambaradhara sragvi sakshan manmatha manmatha. So Krishna is described as manmatha manmatha. Manmatha means one who enchants and attracts the heart of Cupid. Manmatha is Cupid, one who enchants and attracts the hearts of all conditioned souls in this world. The influence of lusty desires, which results in, everyone experiencing harshanam, first feeling pleasure due to that attraction of the sex desires. And when that harshanam grows, then it becomes karshanam. Gradually it results in various kinds of miseries. Then it becomes roshanam. Further it grows into excruciating pain, shoshanam, and exploitation, and finally maranam. One regrets being entangled in this kind of a relationship based on sense gratification. So the counteraction of that is Krishna, who is Madana Mohana. कुलाधि देवता मोरे मदन मोहन जार सेवक रघुनाथ रूप सनातन. Kaviraj Goswami says, my worshipable deity is Madan Mohan. Jar Sevak, who are served eternally by the Goswamis, including Rupa and Sanatan. So, Krishna's performing pastimes with the gopis is considered to be completely on the transcendental platform, because one who can attract, enchant and bewilder, control even Cupid, Madan, he cannot be on the mundane platform. Therefore he is Madana Mohana. Vikriditum brajavadhu viridam cha Vishnoho Shraddhanvito no shunayat athavarnayetya. Anyone who hears the Rasa Lila, this is the Phalashruti of Rasa Lila. When you hear the Rasa Panchadhyaya, the Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses. Out of that 18,000 verses, these five chapters of the 10th canto, 29 to 33rd, these 5 chapters are considered to be the soul of the Bhagavad Puran. And so, the Phalashruti of hearing this Rasa Panchadhyaya is Vikriditum Vraja Vadhubir Idam Cha Vishnoho. So Krishna is described in this verse as Vishnoho, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is present everywhere, including in the hearts of the gopis. Shraddhan Vito no Shrunayat Athavar Nayetya. One who hears the Rasalila pastimes with faith and who describes those pastimes with faith. Bhaktim haro bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hridrogamashu apahinoti achirena pumdhira. Whoever hears these pastimes, they will experience a few effects upon them. Bhaktim, one develops devotion towards Krishna. And Bhaktim haro bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hridrogam. The heart disease is of 2 types. One with the physical heart, which one experiences as a result of old age, for which one goes to the cardiologist. The second heart disease is the one which is within the heart, which is the kama or the lust. Hrid rogam, that is described as the heart disease. Hrid rogam ashu apahinoti. Very soon one is freed from that heart disease simply as a result of hearing these pastimes of Krishna with the gopis. And therefore, these pastimes, if they were mundane, if they had any trace or pinch of lust, then they would not have the power to purify ourselves of that lust. Therefore, these are transcendental pastimes described. So there are a few considerations that when Krishna was involved in these pastimes with the gopis, the age of Krishna and the age of gopis was hardly 7 years old. Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan ki, Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman ji ki. So they were so young, and therefore it does not make sense to consider them to be part of any mundane affairs. Second, Krishna has 6 opulences: strength, fame, riches, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. So all of these are expressions of his opulences. The gopis are also the transcendental expansions of Krishna, not to be considered as mundane. So therefore they had no material bodies. Krishna is also known as Atma Rama. Atma Ramascha Muniyoho Nirgrantha Api Urukrame Kurvanta Hitukim Bhaktim Itham Bhuta Gunohari. One who is Atma Rama and Apta Kama, who is fully satisfied in himself. And therefore he does not need anyone externally. Right? And therefore, when Yashoda Mai sees the entire Brahmand in the mouth of Krishna, she is bewildered for one moment because she is thinking, is this the Supreme Lord? When Yashoda Mai is thinking like that, Krishna becomes afraid that the whole world and the whole universe is glorifying me as the Supreme Lord. If Yashoda Mai also does that, who will give me milk? And therefore, immediately in the next moment, through the Yogamaya potency, Krishna makes Yashoda Mai forget that. Traya cha upanishadbhischa sankhya yogaischa satvataihi upagiyamana mahatmyam harirsa amanyata putrakaha. What the Upanishads, the Vedic literatures glorify as the Supreme Lord. Traya cha upanishadbhischa sankhya yogaischa satvataihi. All of these literatures are glorifying him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Upagiyamana mahatmyam. His glories are extolled in these literatures. But Yashoda Mai considered Krishna to be her own son. Amanyata putrakaha nemam virincho na bhavo na shrirapi anga samshrayaha prasadele bhire gopi yatat prapya vimuktidat. Yashoda Mai was given that privilege which Krishna did not give, even to his son Brahmaji, even to Shiva, even to Lakshmi Devi. That privilege of becoming his mother and feeding him her milk. And therefore these pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan are fully transcendental, not mundane. And therefore these transcendental pastimes are requested by Maharaj Parikshit to be spoken. Yena yena avatarena Bhagavan Haririshwara Karoti Karnaramyani Manogyani Chana Prabho. Yes, Krishna has performed pastimes in many avatars. Bhagavan Haririshwara, he is Bhagavan, he is not ordinary. He is Hari, one who can destroy Sarva Amangala Hare, all inauspiciousness. And he is Bhagavan Harir and Ishvara, the Supreme Controller. Karoti Karnaramyani, and these pastimes are very enchanting for the hearts, to the minds, to the ears. So Shloka Mauler Gunavadam Ahu, very attractive, very satisfying. It is that food which the soul has been hankering for millions of lifetimes, completely bewildered, not understanding why I am still hungry, why I am still thirsty, because the soul has not experienced the smell of the dust of Krishna's lotus feet. That has been the hankering of the soul since millions of lifetimes. And therefore, Krishna in all the avatars, in all the incarnations, performs super excellent pastimes which are super attractive to the heart and the mind. ekantino yasya na kanchanartham vanchanti ye vai bhagavat prapanna ati adbhutam tat charitam sumangalam gayanta ananda samudra magna. These pastimes are filled with ecstasy, with pure joy. It is condensed joy. And therefore, ekantino, those who have realized that having tried to eat, drink, and enjoy all kinds of sense objects for millions of lifetimes, I am still feeling excruciatingly hungry. They decide to now stop eating, drinking, enjoying, partaking of all other sense objects apart from only Krishna. Ekantina. They are only focused on Krishna. They have come to that realization. I have been cheated by Maya for millions of lifetimes. Now, I will not allow myself to be cheated anymore. I am determined not to get cheated. That is called ekantino. One who has realized the game. One who has realized that one has been cheated in the game for ages. Yasya na kanchanartham vanchanti ye vai bhagavat prapanna. They are completely surrendered at the lotus feet of Krishna. Shoshyantim rudatim ekam dhyana shoka parajanam dukkhasyantam na pashyanti ramam ramavanubratam. Sita Devi in Ashokavatika in Lanka is in a helpless state surrounded by Rakshasis. Ravana has held her captive. She is subjected to various kinds of external threats. What is her condition of helplessness? Shushyantim, she is being exploited, threatened. Rudatim, she is crying. Ekam, she is alone. Dhyana, she is constantly meditating upon her helpless situation. Shoka parayanam, she is surrendered to her situation of lamentation. Dukkhasyantam napashyantim, and the greatest amplifier of misery is uncertainty. And thus, in that state when she has no idea when help will come, whether help will come, if the help comes, will that be enough? All these uncertain questions are amplifying her situation of distress. But what is the internal experience of Sita Devi? Ramam, she is in deep ecstasy, deep state of satisfaction, deep peace within. Why? Ramam anubratam, because she has dedicated herself to follow in the footsteps of Lord Ram. She has agreed to surrender her will to the will of Lord Ram. She has developed the power to see every situation of prosperity as the mercy of Lord Ram, will of Lord Ram. Every situation of adversity as the will of Lord Ram. So she has realized whatever I am getting in life is nothing but the prasad, the mercy, the grace of Lord Ram. Ramam, Ramam, Anuvratam. So therefore, that is the reason we come to the satsang, to develop the ability and the vision to appreciate the prasad, the mercy, the grace, to see the hand of Krishna behind everything, which is His will. The whole idea of Harikatha, the whole idea of Vaishnav Sangha, the whole idea of practice of the process is to develop the ability to see the unseen, the will of the Lord. And therefore that will of the Lord, as per Bhishma Dev, is incomprehensible. Sarvam kalakritam manye bhavatam chayadapriyam sapalo yatvashe loko vayor iva ghanavali. Just like the wind moves the clouds helplessly, each one of us will be moved helplessly, whether one is devotee or not a devotee, a struggling devotee or a pure devotee, a new devotee or an old devotee, initiated devotee or non-initiated devotee, sincere devotee or non-sincere devotee, devotee attending Mangalarti or not attending Mangalarti, following Ekadashi or not following. Everybody will be subjected to Krishna's will. So you may say, can I predict his will? No. Can I understand his will? No. Then why am I in Hare Krishna movement? Not to understand his will, but to submit to his will, to surrender to his will. And therefore his will is so swiftly moving, so quickly dancing, that to keep step with that dancing steps of Krishna's will is practically challenging and impossible. Those who are able to keep step with Krishna's dancing of his will, they are the gopis, and that is the Rasa Leela. How you can stay in tune with Krishna's will. And therefore Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us the process of kirtan. Bhajanera madhye sreshta navavida bhakti Krishna prema Krishna dite dhore mahashakti Tara madhye sarva sreshta Nama sankirtan Niraparadhe nama loile Pai prema dhan. Amongst the processes of bhajan, bhajanera madhye, the supreme most is navavida bhakti, and in that the best is nama sankirtan. Keha nache keha gaye Sri Krishna Gopal Premete bhasila lokas trivriddha abal. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally demonstrates how to chant, how to dance to all members of society. Chaudikete sabaloka bole hori hori premaveshe madhya nritya kore gaur hari. Lord Chaitanya demonstrates that all the soul can do in life is to raise his hands and offer to the Lord that your will anyway reign supreme. Give me the ability to dance in tune with your will. And therefore the dancing in kirtan is an expression of the acceptance by the devotee that I am willing to dance as per your will. The way you make me dance, I am willing to dance as per that happily. Kripara samudra dina hine dayamoy Krishna kripa bina kona sukh nahi hoy. There is only one secret sauce for happiness in life. That how we align our will with Krishna's will. Krishna kripa vina kona sukh nahi hoy. That this is Krishna's will, I accept that. And accepting that is the only happiness one can experience. Therefore Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself puts himself through that situation where he wants to go via Bengal all the way to Vrindavan. But Sanatan Goswami, on the first day of meeting Lord Chaitanya, tells Lord Chaitanya, this is not a good plan. Change your plan. You should not go to Vrindavan now with thousands of people. You should go later when you are alone. Durlabha durgama se nirjana Vrindavan ekaki jai ba ki ba sange ekajan. You should not travel with millions of followers. Go alone. Vrindavan is a very secluded place. Now Lord Chaitanya could have told him, Hare, you are meeting me first time. Just now I initiated you. And on the day of initiation, disciple is giving instruction to Guru. And that too changing the most loved plan of the Guru of going to Vrindavan? You don't want to go, you don't go, I am going. Lord Chaitanya turned back and came back to Jagannath Puri and again stayed for the Rath Yatra, and after Rath Yatra again pleaded with the devotees, please allow me to go to Vrindavan. Yadyapi swatantra prabhu nahe nivaran, bhakta ichha vina prabhu nokore gaman. Lord Chaitanya said, dancing does not mean just jumping up and down in kirtan. I am willing to dance as per the will of the devotees, even though I am the Supreme Lord. Yadyapi swatantra, I am supremely independent. I don't need anybody's permission. But bhakta ichha vina prabhu. But as a devotee, I agree to dance as per the desire and the will of the devotees. And therefore, without their permission, I cannot enter Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is nothing but dance. Dance to the tune of Krishna and Krishna's devotees' desire. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya waited till it was time of Dashera of 1515. Then he decided, I will now proceed. And he wanted to go alone. Devotee said, no, you must take an assistant. Lord said, Are Baba, no assistant. I had problem with previous assistant, Kal Krishna Das. He came as my Das, I had to become his Das. I don't want Adi Dasik Klish. Let me go alone. But the devotees said, no, we have found one excellent assistant. His name is Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Swarup kahe ei Balabhadra Bhattacharya, Tomate susnigdha bada pandit sadhu arya. This Balabhadra Bhattacharya has all the 4 qualities of an ideal servant. Servant is not a cheap thing. To get the name Das may be easy, but the real idea of Das means the Das must have the qualities of a servant. Right? When we get initiated, we get the name Das. And as soon as we get the name Das, it means we are servant. So, after one initiation, some devotees were arguing with each other. My name is so and so Das. My name is better than your name. Another devotee said, no, my name is better. So Prabhupada looked at them and said, the most important part of the name is Das, whatever may be the first name. So Prabhupada had a disciple, Hamsadutta Prabhu. So before his initiation, his name was Hans Carey. So he was German name. So when he was in America, people were making fun of that name. So he didn't like that. He wanted a new name. He was eagerly awaiting initiation. So it happens when you are from one part, you go to another part, people don't understand. Like if you are from South India, you have long name. Kanakapati Apalachalam Sankaralingam Zagapati Raju. That is like one name. If he goes to make the passport officer thinks 4 passports are being made. And then someone goes to China, the name is simple. Who? The name is over. So he thought after initiation my name will change. So Prabhupada gave him Hamsadutta Adhikari. Yeah, what is the meaning of the name? Prabhupada said, your previous name Hans, you add Duta. Hans Duta. Your second name was Carey, add Adhi Carey. He thought after Diksha also name did not change. Prabhupada, what is the meaning of this name? Prabhupada said, you read the Bhagavatam, you'll understand. So he read and read, he couldn't figure out. So one day Prabhupada was sitting and giving, after initiation, some description. This name means this. Brahmanand means this. Gargamuni means this. So he thought, this is a good day. He said, Prabhupada, who is Hamsadutta? Prabhupada said, you. And then Prabhupada said the most important part is das. So what does das mean? Das means 4 things. Swarup kahe ei Balabhadra Bhattacharya tomate susnigdha. First, the servant or das must have intimacy, feelings of intimacy for the master. Pandit, he must have intelligence to process the will of the master. Sadhu, he must have the integrity in his character. And Arya, he must have ideal interpersonal dealings with others and represent the master properly. And therefore, here was Swarup Damodar Goswami recommending Balabhadra Bhattacharya. So then Lord Chaitanya takes Balabhadra Bhattacharya with him. It was not his desire. Again, Lord Chaitanya was dancing to the will of the devotees. It's all dance. Chanting and dancing. Chanting and dancing. So chanting means we are telling the Lord, please engage me in your service. And dancing means we are saying, whether you accept my service or not, I am fine with that. That is dancing. Whether my desires get fulfilled or not, that is dancing. We are eager to serve you in any way. So Lord Chaitanya enters Vrindavan, but then after 2 months, Balabhadra Bhattacharya gets restless because everybody is coming and hassling him and telling him, get Lord Chaitanya for breakfast, get Lord Chaitanya for lunch. And thousands of people are coming and telling him. So Balabhadra Bhattacharya, it's too much for him. So finally he comes to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he says that, people are coming and giving me a lot of trouble. My mind is in too much anxiety. Udvigna hoila prana sahitena pari. I am too much in anxiety in Vrindavan. Directly in contact with ecstasy personified. Lord Chaitanya is ecstasy personified, and here is Balabhadra Bhattacharya, anxiety personified. So you can be right next to Lord Chaitanya and still be in full anxiety. Satchid Ananda. But he was not experiencing that Ananda. And so he tells Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Pratah kala loka aise tomare na paye, tomare na paye loka mora matha khaye. People are coming in the morning and they're all eating my head, saying that, please come to our house, please come to our house. So please, let us leave Vrindavan. So just imagine, after great struggle, Lord Chaitanya had reached Vrindavan, and still Balabhadra Bhattacharya, he did not want to bring. Devotees forced, take Balabhadra Bhattacharya. That person is telling, let us not stay in Vrindavan, let us leave. So if you and me were in that place, what we would have told Balabhadra Bhattacharya, you go. You are in trouble, you go. Leave me alone. If you can't handle, what can I do? I never wanted to bring you in the first place. You were imposed upon me. Go. Yadyapi Vrindavan tyage nahi prabhurman bhakta ichha vina prabhu na koregaman. Lord Chaitanya did not want to leave. Yadyapi Vrindavan tyage nahi prabhurman. He didn't want to leave. Bhakta ichha purite kohe madhur bachan. But to please Balabhadra Bhattacharya, he agreed. So Lord Chaitanya was not just dancing in kirtan just like, part of some show. His dancing in kirtan indicated his intention to be willing to dance as per the will of the devotees. Lord Chaitanya was submitting his power at the lotus feet of the devotees and giving them the power to influence his life. And that's exactly what the Rasa dance represents. It is not just a mundane dance, but how much we are willing to submit and surrender to the will of the Lord, the will of the devotees, and follow to the best of our ability. And therefore, when Lord Krishna is in Vrindavan, that is what he is demonstrating. Srila Prabhupada, he explains that the will of Krishna is brought to us by the will and the instruction of the Vaishnavas. Sushila Sahishnu Shanta Vadanya Gambhir Madhura Vachana Madhura Cheshta Mahadhir Sabar Samman Karta Koren Sabar Het Kautilya Matsarya Himsa Na Janita Rachit. Devotees who are full of divine qualities and who are empowered to instruct us, guide us, teach us, lead us, we should see their good qualities and follow them. Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dekhai dosh kay mane vakye kore Vaishnava santosh. With body, mind and words we try to follow them. Srila Prabhupada was in Bhubaneswar. So he saw Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. And Prabhupada asked him, how is the translation of the Srimad Bhagavatam happening in Odia language? Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj looked at Srila Prabhupada and told him that there are so many other sevas which I have to do to manage this place. I did not get enough time to translate in Odia. Prabhupada said, this is the most important seva. Management can be done by someone else also. We cannot get somebody to translate and write purports in Odia. You are supposed to be the president. Why don't you delegate? So Gaur Govind Maharaj said humbly, Srila Prabhupada, you made me president, but I am the only resident here. Whom do I delegate? So Prabhupada said, there are so many devotees I see here. He said, they all came because you have come. The day you leave, they also leave. So Prabhupada looked at one devotee walking by. Prabhupada said, we will make him manager here. Gaur Govind Maharaj said, Prabhupada, he has already made plans to go to New York tomorrow. Already his ticket is booked. Prabhupada said, we will change his plan. So Gaur Govind Maharaj said, you can change his plan. I cannot even dare to tell him. So Prabhupada called that devotee. So this devotee did not know why Prabhupada is calling. He sat in front of Prabhupada. Prabhupada smiled at him. When Prabhupada smiled, he became nervous. Because Paramatma was telling him, something is coming. Prabhupada said, I want you to stay here and manage Bhubaneswar temple. It was like a thunderbolt to that devotee. He said, Prabhupada, I cannot stay long in India because the weather does not suit me. Prabhupada said, only when you stay longer time it will suit you. He got bewildered. My plan is smashed. He said, Prabhupada, actually my health, and the food, I'm not able to digest here. Prabhupada said, I will write down what food to eat, what not to eat. Everything will get digested, don't worry. Now his mind was racing hard. See the, nature of how we respond. He was looking at new ideas how to avoid. So he says, Prabhupada, they just created a new department for me in New York. I have to go and take over that department. Prabhupada said, I will allocate some other devotee to take over that department in New York. You simply stay here and manage. So he was not willing to give up, still scratching his head further. And then he said, Prabhupada, I cannot get along with the local GBC. Prabhupada said, today only I changed the GBC. So now everything gone. What remains? He thought, now I have to use the Brahmastra. So he said, Prabhupada, from morning till night, I am so busy managing this place. I just don't have time to chant 16 rounds. Let me go to New York. I will at least chant peacefully. Prabhupada looked at him and said, if you're busy morning till night, even if you don't chant 16 rounds, it is fine. Devotees love this quote. Many people after lecture come and ask me, show me the exact quote. Maybe you should have told this before. But, Prabhupada said, you just stay. And he finally had to stay. So therefore, many times we may think, one devotee was asking, so who's your favorite in the Hare Krishna movement? He said, Radha Gopinath. Hare Baba, direct DT. What about devotee? No, Gopinath. He is the only one who keeps smiling at me. Number one. And number two, doesn't tell me anything. But the whole purpose of Krishna consciousness is we follow. We are willing to bend our desire to the will of Krishna and Krishna's devotees. And therefore, this principle is demonstrated through this Rasa Leela, and Krishna in Vrindavan is demonstrating this whole principle. And that principle is what is glorified in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. That for 11 years Krishna stayed in Vrindavan and then he left Vrindavan. Evam bruvana virahatura bhrisham vrajastriya Krishna vishakta manasa visrijjalajjang rurudusma susmaran govinda damodara madhaveti. And the gopis are crying in separation from Krishna as Akruraji is taking Krishna away. And then for several decades Krishna is not there. So the interesting thing is, there are two things which test love: uncertainty and separation. Rajyam bhrashto vane vaso Sita nashta hatodvija idrishya mama alakshmir nirdahet apipavaka. When Jatayu is killed, Lord Ram is embracing Jatayu and crying deeply, shedding tears. And looking towards Lakshman, Lord Ram declares, holding the dead body of Jatayu, Rajyam bhrashto, I lost my kingdom. Vanevaso, I was sent to the forest. Sita nashta, and my wife Sita has been destroyed. I don't know whether she's alive or not. Hatodvija, and now my best friend Jatayu is killed. Just see the string of misfortune I have gone through, O Lakshman. Idrashriya mama alakshmir. Lakshmi means misfortune. Lakshmi means fortune. Alakshmi means misfortune. Just see what kind of misfortune after misfortune I am going through in life. Nirdahedapi pavaka. The fire of misfortune I am experiencing is so powerful that the fire of my misfortune can burn fire itself. That is the kind of situation I am experiencing. So Lord Ram is demonstrating this to show that even him as the Supreme Lord has to go through episodes of prosperity and adversity in this world. That's how the world has been designed. And therefore, when one experiences that situation, one must demonstrate equanimity. One must demonstrate steadfastness. One must demonstrate the ability to cope with that situation, understanding that I cannot understand Krishna's will, I can only submit to his will. We cannot comprehend the Lord's will. We can only surrender to that will. We can only accept that will. We can only acknowledge that will. We can only try to serve under the jurisdiction of that will. And therefore, the willingness to serve and submit to that will is the only dance which we are expected to perform in the human form of life. Because only the human beings can understand how the will of the Lord dances continuously. And therefore Krishna never stands straight. He stands in threefold bending form, showing that my will also moves like this, not straight, curved, unpredictable. And therefore, when we realize that this is the will of the Lord, Lord in Kurukshetra meets the gopis after long time. And the gopis are expecting Krishna in his Shyam Sundar Nandanandan form, and then they are again disappointed because Krishna is in the form of Aishwarya as Dwarkadhish. So, when they see Dwarkadhish, they are disappointed. And here, Radharani and the gopis are pleading with Krishna to come back to that form of Shyama Sundar. Vrindavana Govardhan Jamuna Pulinavan Sai Kunje Rasa Dikalila Sai Brajer Brajajan Mata Pita Bandhugan Bada Chitra Kemane Pasarila. Radharani, Lord Chaitanya in the mood of Radharani, she's telling Krishna, how come Krishna you have forgotten Vrindavan, Govardhan, Yamuna, the 12 forests, you have forgotten all the Brajavasi, you have forgotten your own mother and father. Bada Chitra, astonishing. Kemane Pasarila, how could you forget that? And then Radharani says, oh, I am fault finding with Krishna, I am accusing Krishna. Bidagdam mridu satgun sushila snigdha karun tumi tomar nahi doshabas tobe ye tomar aman nahi smare brajajan se amara durdaiva bilas. Then Radharani says, the Shastras glorify Krishna in one way and I am accusing Krishna in another way. Not good, not good, not good. Oh, sorry. My apologies, Krishna. The Shastras call you Vidagdha, expert, Mridu, soft-hearted, Snigdha, very malleable, Sushila, well-behaved, Karun, full of mercy. Tumi, Tomar nahi doshabas. So your not coming to Vrindavan to meet us cannot be your fault. I'm sorry. I made a mistake by speaking inappropriately. Tabaye tomaraman nahe smari brajajan. So then, what could be the cause that Krishna never thought of the Brajavasis for so many years and did not come? She says, Se amara durdaiva vilas. It was our past karma only, our misfortune, because of which you did not think of us. Sorry that I spoke things accusing you. Say Amara Durdaiva Vilas. So the Brajavasis, the Gopis, even Srimati Radharani, they are demonstrating that the test of love is in two things: uncertainty and separation. Gold is tested in one way, health is tested in another way, strength of materials is tested in another way, strength of buildings is tested in a certain way. The test of love is when there is repeated uncertainty, and long separation, then love is tested severely. And so when Radharani and the gopis are tested in their love, in spite of such a long separation, they never forget Krishna. And they are still eager for the same mood, intensity of what they want from Krishna as Shyama Sundar, not as Dwarkadhish. And so they place Krishna on a chariot of their mind, and in the mood of separation, bring Krishna in that meditation from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. So Jagannath as Swayam Bhagavan is Bhava Vikara, Krishna in ecstasy of separation from the gopis, transformed by the Vipralamba Rasa, and his limbs, eyes, they're all affected because of that separation. And therefore, Krishna, because of being immersed in Radha Bhav, demonstrates absence of limbs, absence of eyelids. All of that melts in the mood of separation. So Jagannathji is the personification of separation. Jagannathji is like a log floating in the ocean of Srimati Radharani's love. And so, when you go to take darshan of Lord Jagannath, the devotee must enter Lord Jagannath's temple in the mood of separation, which Lord Jagannath demonstrates. When you go to take darshan in the mood of separation, then the Lord, like a mirror, then also shows his bhav as Shyama Sundar. The form of Shyama Sundar is revealed to that devotee who carries that mood of separation in their heart. So that's the Daru Brahma, living Lord in the wooden form. The smile of longing which Jagannath has is an enigma. What does the smile of Lord Jagannath represent? The smile of Lord Jagannath represents Krishna's memory of Brajalila. Krishnera jateka khela sarvottama naralila narabapu jahara swarupa. That is the best pastimes of all. And so, when Krishna remembers his Vrindavan Leela, he smiles. And then, when he remembers the gopis and separation from the gopis, and the pain which the gopis are experiencing in separation from him, he cries tears. And therefore, that smile of Jagannath is mixed with Krishna's joy of remembrance and Krishna's feelings of tears in separation. So it's the mixture of joy and sorrow in that smile. And so, Gaur Govinda Maharaj would often say, only those who cry for Krishna can fully appreciate Jagannath's smile. Only those who cry for Krishna can appreciate Jagannath's smile. And therefore, Lord Jagannath is thus that beautiful representative of Krishna's mood in Vrindavan. So, when Lord Chaitanya is performing his pastimes in the Rath Yatra, he is there in all the 7 Rath Yatra groups, personally present, expanding himself. Kashi Mishra kohe Raja Prabhura Mahima, Kashi Mishra kohe Tomar Bhagye nahi sima. And Prataprudra Maharaj tells Kashi Mishra, I can see Lord Chaitanya in all the 7 groups. What is this? So Kashi Mishra says, this is Lord Chaitanya's special mercy to you, so that you have that vision. Otherwise, we are not able to see that. Rajar tuchha seva dekhi prabhur tushtaman, saito prasade paila rahasya darshan. And Lord Chaitanya became pleased with Prataprudra Maharaj's humility. Therefore, he agreed to be present. He revealed himself because of the humility of Prataprudra Maharaj. Sakshate na deya dekha parokshe to daya ke bujhite pare chaitanya chandre ramaya. Lord Chaitanya directly did not give his mercy, but indirectly gave mercy by allowing him darshan of his pastimes. Because Lord Chaitanya was pleased with Prataprudra Maharaj's humility. And therefore, we cannot understand Krishna's will with our brain and intelligence. We can only understand through humility. Many years ago, we had the conference organized for synthesis of science and religion in Kolkata. So many powerful scientists were there. 1997. I was also attending. And they were all presenting on quantum mechanics and this and that. And, few devotees were also attending out of curiosity to hear what is going on. And the best part of the whole event was the prasad. Because such an elaborate prasad was organized by Bhaktacharu Maharaj for everybody, all the scientists. And the most challenging session was post-lunch session. The auditorium lights were dimmed. And the speech was on quantum physics. And in the hall, the audience was seeing the stars. And I could hear some snoring sound also next to me. So after that session, when I came out, Radhanath Maharaj came and told me, "Oh, you are from IIT, you must have understood all this." So now, he mentioned IIT, so I had to defend myself. So I said, yeah, I understood, most parts I understood. But in between I was going to sleep. Maharaj said, "You're lucky, I was waking up in between." So, all of the science, intellectualism, it can help us understand phenomena of this world. That too, partially. To understand the will of Krishna is beyond the scope for anyone. And therefore, when we say darshan, that darshan is nothing but helping us appreciate the unpredictability of Krishna's will and the unconditional way in which we surrender to that unpredictability of Krishna's will with full faith that whatever Krishna does is for our benefit. And that is the essence of the gopis' dance with Krishna, where they are dancing, not even considering for one moment that what will be the consequence of this. As soon as Krishna wills, they reciprocate with that will in step with Krishna's dance. And that is what Lord Chaitanya says, Gopi Bharatur Pada Kamalayoho Das Dasanudas, to be the servant of the servant of the servant. Right? So so Prabhupada said, when you look through these lenses, the more number of lenses you add, the object becomes closer. So the more layers of das you become, then Krishna comes closer. So that's the whole idea of this Rasa dance, which is demonstrated here in this particular purport by Srila Prabhupada. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Ji.
Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a question regarding the Ras Leela, which is the most essential part of Bhagavatam. For a neophyte devotee, when he tries to read it, he looks from the lens of material. So, how we can understand it more spiritually, and what we should do to understand it deeply, this particular science?
Yeah. So, I think most of my class, I kind of try to explain that part. So, you have to look at all of these pastimes as Krishna's transcendental pastimes. These are not mundane pastimes. So, Krishna and Krishna's associates are all transcendental. So, when you are talking to people, most people don't even know what is transcendental. You know? So, they understand what is mental, they understand what is dental. But they don't know what is transcendental. So that will take some time. And how they will understand if they are eating all kinds of foods which are making their, consciousness completely tamoguni. So it's a long process. So only 400 million people on this planet are vegetarians. So how will you speak transcendental to somebody who's not even following the basic diet? And then when you say no onion, no garlic, so millions of numbers come down. Then you add no chai, no coffee, then only these many remain. So where is the scope for describing transcendental? So it's a very, very tough thing to, first of all, find the audience who are willing to understand transcendence. Once such people are there and they are willing to understand, so durapahi alpatapasa seva vaikunta vartmasu yatropa gyete nityam deva devo janardana. Only one who has performed seva in the past lives, they can actually understand what is the significance of serving the devotees in this life. Yatropa gyete nityam deva devo janardana. So therefore, the qualification to understand the subject itself takes long time to develop. That's why Srila Prabhupada translated the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He took a break from the Bhagavatam, translated the CC. Why? Because this has all of our Sampradaya deepest teachings. And so when Krishna is understood through Lord Chaitanya, so there is a safety valve. Like that. So Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, and the devotees were going for the Krishna Balram temple construction site from Phogla Ashram. So on the way, there was somebody who was selling, there was a sweet shop maker who was selling sweets. He looked at the devotees and told them, hey, I want you to, taste some sweets. Because today is an auspicious day, I want to just give a gift to the devotees to start with. So he was offering all this sandesh, rasgulla, rasmalai, jalebi, hot milk. And when there is such an offer, you don't need too much of an invitation. So devotees just stood there and started eating right next to the streets on the road. And as they were, honoring all of that sumptuously, Prabhupada's car came by. And the devotees became nervous. And they hoped he will just pass by. And Prabhupada's car passed ahead. And they were relieved. Then Prabhupada's car stopped. And reversed. And the car came straight in front of them. Then Prabhupada turned the window down. And now it happened so fast that they had all these sweets in their hands. Some in the mouth also. So they could not swallow it. So they were caught, they were just looking, and Prabhupada looked at them, eyes wide. They were all nervous, what will Prabhupada say? And Prabhupada said, Bengali sweets essential for life. The devotees were in ecstasy. They thought, wow, Prabhupada really approved our eating this. So 2-3 years later, Prabhupada was in another place in California. And the devotees had set up a book table and some prasadam. When Prabhupada came out, one devotee was from the previous episode in Vrindavan. So immediately took Sandesh and showed it to Prabhupada. Said, Srila Prabhupada, Bengali is sweet. Prabhupada picked up the Chaitanya Charitamrita and said, this is the real Bengali sweet. And Prabhupada therefore wanted the devotees to study these books deeply, to understand these books, because only then you will understand what is transcendence. I stayed in somebody's house. Next day morning they said, please give Bhagavatam, in the house. I said, okay, give me your 6th canto. So they started opening the whole Bhagavatam set from the plastic cover. The whole box they were opening right in front of me. I said, how many years back you got this? He said, quite a few years back. I said, you never opened? They said, we were waiting for you only. So, Srila Prabhupada said, my greatest complaint is that the devotees are not studying these books as deeply as they should be studied. Right? So Rupa and Sanatan Goswami are glorified. Kalena Vrindavana Keli Varta Lupte Titvam Kyapayitum Vishishya Kripamratena Vishishescha Devas Tatraiva Rupam Cha Sanatanam Cha. The pastimes of Vrindavan were lost, misunderstood. Kalena Vrindavana Keli Varta, the pastimes of Vrindavan, they were lupta, hidden. And therefore, in order to re-establish those pastimes and give us the process by which we can enter those pastimes, Rupa and Sanatan came and gave those literatures. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya gives instruction to Sanatan Goswami. Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema Seva Pravartan, Lupta Tirtha Uddhar Ar Vairagya Shikshan. You have to establish temples which will become places where Krishna Prema is generated from the hearts of those who visit those temples. Lupta Tirtha Uddhar, excavate lost holy places by visiting which the bhav for Krishna will develop. So all of these were part of the mandate given to the 6 Goswamis, by which Krishna performed his pastimes, he ended his pastimes. Here now we are in Kali Yuga, we hear about transcendence, we are full of tamogun. So how do you make the journey from tamogun to transcendence? So Srila Rupa Goswami spent almost 18 years giving us the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is the process by which we can gradually make that journey. So this is the contribution of the Goswamis, and the Srila Prabhupada's contribution is translated all of those esoteric literatures from Sanskrit and Bengali to English so that we could access this. So that's the process by which we enter into these pastimes. Okay? So thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Shri Radha Gokulananda ji ki, Sai Go Premanande, Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vaja Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Of Dasi, I wrote it, but what was?
Of servant?
Yes, yes.
Intimacy?
Yes.
Intelligence, integrity, and interpersonal dealing.
Integrity. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice class. எவ்வளோ நாள் இருக்கிறீங்க இங்க? ஐயோ, இன்னைக்கு போறீங்களா? கிளாஸ் இல்லையா?
Rasa.